Pleasant good evening. Mr. Basdeo, good night. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good night, Mr. Anil Sugrim. How are you, do, sir?
Hey, good night, good night. Where you find Bahas here from?
Good. Well,
I'm
I'll bring
here,
you back
sir.
to Guyana. I'll bring you back to Guyana. He went on some business. I say this man is much needed in Guyana. So So we are on live, viewers. Good night, listeners, wherever you are. Good night. It's a pleasure to be once again back live on 107.1 Family. I was out for 2 weeks because of some technical difficulties, but I am back now, and I know that tonight's program will be a very, very special one. Um, Having Mr. Derek Masdale once again with us, and the very popular counselor, Mr.
The
Anders
annual
Sugrim.
sugar.
Um, there has been some requests for this gentleman to be on the program. That is why I made contact to say that, hey, buddy, I'm coming back live, so I need some backup. And the best backup is Daniel from Leeds. So, welcome, gentlemen. I know that you guys have been busy for the past couple of weeks, and I know that Mr. Basdev has been very much active in the region, accompanying the leader of the opposition, leader of the APNU, APNU side of the coalition, and I know that you guys did a wonderful work. So, welcome again. Good night, and to the viewers, if you can share the link and tag someone, send it to someone so that we can be able to cover more individuals. Tonight, we want to talk about a few things which has been affecting the lives of Barbadian, more so Guyanese, as it relates to cost of living, if the fake promise of the Gaisupu reopening, um, widening of the road, um, new stadium, a stadium to be built in Berbice, and more so, we want to talk about how it is getting very, very difficult for people to put food on the table as we see what is happening in Guyana right now. So I take Mr. Basde with his opening remarks, and then we go to Pastor Subir. Mr.
Hi,
Basde.
good everyone out there in the TV land, Region 6, or across Guyana, and in the diaspora. I must gotta say it's a pleasure to be in this panel with MP Dinesh and my good buddy here, Pastor Anil Sugrim. All right. Viewers out there, my name is Derek Basdeo, as our MP Dinesh mentioned, and I'm one of your regional democratic councillors for the region number 6. That is our region here. And it starts from Mara to Molson Creek, Superuta, and Oriala included. And I'm also one of the works committees, right? And I belongs to four: the works committee, the agriculture committee, the genders affairs committee, and the sports and culture committee. So I'm quite active. And viewers out there, in Berbice especially, you probably seen me across Guyana, Molson Creek. I was even the other day with Mr. Aubrey Norton in Caribaton, and that's a tongue, a municipality. And Mr. Sugrim know what I'm talking about. On the outskirts, Little Africa, Rampur, Race Course area, bad, seriously bad conditions. People are living in miserable, miserable condition. Mokomoko tree, viewers, you guys know what Mokomoko tree is. 8 feet plus tall in the drains right next to the residential houses. Gosh, we got all this money thinking about building bridges to Suriname, which is good. Don't get me wrong, viewers. Building a stadium at Palmyra, airport. What about our people? Charity begins at home.
Correct.
Take care of our people. This present administration is not looking at the grassroots people. They are looking at the businessmen, the Chamber of Commerce, and whatever friends and family they could deal with. Take, for
Contractors.
example, I don't want to elaborate too much. I know I'm going to come back on MP Dinesh, but I'll hold some good things, and which is the truth and nothing else but the truth. Viewers out there, what I'm speaking about, right, is mostly what we discuss at the RDC boardroom, monthly statutory meetings, and it is in the minutes. So there's no lie coming from my mouth. All right, Mr. MP, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Basdeo. And that is so true. Um, I was running the quarantine a couple days, and the road, the 59 area road there, that was done 5 times, and we operating on like we on the tide. We moving with water, and the condition for the Corriverton tongue area, the roads deplorable, the living condition for our people at this age, this time and this age in this country, one of the largest, fastest growing nation of the world. We still have our brothers and sisters. We still have our children walking through mud dam to reach the school and to reach the public road. Mr. Andrew Sugrim, Municipality Councillor. Good night, sir.
Uh,
Welcome. What
Good
are your
night, good
opening
night.
remarks?
It's good to be on again with you guys. Good to see Derek. Thank Mark for keep accommodating us on 107.1 FM, and we want tonight again asking our viewers to share our program so that we can reach as many as we can in their homes, in their comfort, and of course, is there in their discomfort to hear of some of this comforting that we experience in this country. Look,
Correct.
I can tell you, and that is why sometimes it pain your heart to know of situation that you encounter. I have seen, and I have learned, and I have grown to know that all that is happening is that people talk. Like time more people say words are win. Nowadays, you can still say words are win. Like, Consular, as you were saying, with all the minutes that we get and with all the meetings that are hold, it doesn't mean anything for the PPP. It doesn't mean anything to them. With the representation you're making for the people, it doesn't mean anything for them. All what they want is that they, as long they perceive in their mind what they plan or what they intend to do, that is what they're going to do. You would go to
Exactly.
meetings and make representation. They would say, "Oh yes, that's a good point," and they're going to take a vote. They're going to take a vote on a good point, and they're going to vote against it. That is what the PPP is good for. That is what they've been doing everywhere in this country. That is what
So
we have
true.
been. That is what we have been hammered with. And unless our people can't understand that the reality is that we gotta represent ourselves and not only depend on representative to represent them, but they need to support those representatives by coming out in their numbers and to view and to air our concern and to demonstrate that, the pandemic, this country open up now. Being a pandemic restriction, let we come out and support the cause of our concern. That
Correct.
that is the situation we are in at this time, MP. We are struggling. Like you talk about Curveton, you know, you talk about Curveton. We had a meeting the other day where I could have pointed out clearly at the council, and they asked me where I get the information from. Nobody got to give me this common sense. If you get common sense, long time people say if you read Caribbean West Indian reader, well, you pass your big buy. Your big buy. Right? Common sense tell you got a mayor in this town, Corriverton, the municipality of Corriverton, that is misusing taxpayer money. It's a customer practice. He not got to get guard, but the council is paying for guard at his house. The council is paying for telephone at his house. He's misusing the council telephone at the office. One particular number I pull up from the catalog that he calls 60 times, 70, 80 times a month, cell number. I went back and checked from 2015 to 2016, 2017, the former mayors, and the office of the mayor is not a full-time office. He's like every other councillor in Curriton. The thing is that he is the lead councillor of the council. I made him to know that it was not the people that elect him as a councillor. It wasn't the people that elected the deputy mayor as a deputy mayor. It was a council decision to elect a councillor to be the mayor and a councillor to be the deputy mayor. But what they're doing in Curriton, they're total dictators. Nobody can determine and tell them what they should do. For a council paying office with a mayor operating used to be paying $4,000 or $5,000 a month for a phone bill. He's paying $28,000, $17,000 a month. He's driving a council taxi around the town, fueling $28,000, $30,000 a month, and they cannot buy a truckload loom to follow some black tank Kahari hole that they get in some of them streets. That's the kind of misusing of people funds that is public funds that is taking place, and it's happening all over the place. I don't believe I don't believe in one Guyana that they're talking about. Again, it's words and wind. There is nothing like one Guyana in this country. Nothing. As long as you are friends and you are associate to those that are in authority, you do what you want to do. You do it when you want it to do. You do it when you're pleased to do it, and nobody else can say anything about it because that is what they do.
Correct.
That's happening in this place.
You do it, and you do it how you want to do it.
Unless we gotta support the people behind us, we gotta promote and we gotta demonstrate ourselves that we dissatisfied with the way this country is governed, from central government to regional government to local government throughout this country. That is the cry of the people. While some horses grazing on green pastures, others that's non-pasture to graze on.
Correct.
That's what happened.
And this is happening across the country. It's not only in Corriverton alone, but it's job for the boys. Basically, we see in the upper quarantine and other areas, some people getting contract left, right, and center. No way to bargain, and some people are in contract to build roads because they are associated with the PPP. 2 weeks ago, myself and and Mr. MP Ramsuru, we came to Port Morant, and we had a community outreach there in Port Morant because of the neglect from the NDC. There has been some block drains and the drainage system was not maintained by the NDC and so forth. And because the residents have been suffering over quite a number of months, they requested Mr. Ramjitan to come. So we were in the area and we visited the area and we, exposed some of the things happening. Um, the next day, the minister came with 15 Prado vehicles, line up, and started to, quarrel with the people why they have to bring Ramjitan in Port Morant. And the thing is that our purpose is to go to every village, every community, everywhere, and say what really is happening, what is affecting the people. And 2 weeks after, the minister came and he promised the people that, he's going to fix it and do all the miracles that he will do. And 2 weeks after, still, the drains were not clear. Yesterday, yesterday, a Haimak came and was doing some work in the area. And I'm saying this to the viewers that we as opposition MPs and RDC and municipality councillor, we have a mandate to go out and to expose the wrong things. And when we do that, a lot of comments are coming, negative comments are coming that we are not supposed to do this. We are making the government look bad. But if the government want to look good, then provide the services for the people and ensure that the people get what they deserve. Mr. Balteo, I know that you went with Comrade Leader around the quarantine. How was the response and so? Were the people coming out and speaking and so?
Um, Mr. Aubrey Norton and a group of us, we also went to Bushlot, quarantine there, and we went on both sides. Well, we call the seaside over. We went to the Bagdam over. And
Okay.
at the seaside over and the Bagdam over, deplorable conditions. Fine streets, what we call an easement, like 3 feet wide. The school children got to walk through in the mud. This is no lie. You could go to that street in the back of the Mandir. Just go to the street, follow it to the third street, even to the second street. Muddy roads, potholes. We couldn't go in there with our cars. On the other side by Bushlat School, you go in Bushlat High Secondary School and you make a left. The kids are in deplorable condition. They don't go to school. As soon as the rain set up, it's like something, a magic for them. Oh, mommy, daddy, we can't go to school today. Kids will be like that, right? But if you get good road and good conditions, they would go to school and something good
Correct.
happen in the school. You know,
Correct.
talking about the complaints and concerns that these people have, right? They are talking about not 2 square meals, They are talking so bad how hungry some kids are going to bed. Mother and father got to sacrifice their meals because of the high cost of living. The people are saying they break a $5,000 bill, it's gone so quickly in the grocery stores. Look, talking about grocery stores, MP and Mr. Anil, yesterday, my good friend in the scheme in Chesney said there's no sugar in the stores, and we are producing sugar, right? In Albion here, according, we have reached the target, but what happened to the sugar? This way of producing sugar, we had downsized the sugar estates,
Correct.
Kanji, but we got a sitting white elephant in Skelland there. Mr. Anil Sugrin can talk about that for years now. He can go on a decade plus, right? And it's sitting there. Sugar cannot come back, but if they change the system of the manpower and start bringing machineries. I am in the area in Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida. There's a different concept of producing sugar, and USA supply sugar to the rest of the world also. Going back to the fishermen now, right, Mr. MP? It's bad. 66 Coca. You go to Albion Coca. Just go in the tide, come in and listen and talk to the captains of the boats. They are poor catching of fish. They're not
Correct.
the abundant supply of fish no more because there's all this noise, right? Today there is a beautiful article by one of the ladies that the noise in the ocean is affecting the fishes, right? Marine life is bad out there. You
Correct.
know, I just want to really touch on this here. How the PVP are taking advantage over people and nobody doing anything. But I think the law enforcement in Berbice here is touching on Mr. Taki's situation. where he was badly beaten up, bruised in the back of his head in the gunslinging days. And we know that, Mr. Anil Sugrim, you shoot somebody in the back, right? You're a coward. So that imprint that a man get, and allegedly we have that from that RDC councillor and the NDC councillor, right? Who's a younger man than Mr. Taki, and hitting somebody behind the head. That's a coward move. I would not elaborate too much. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But let the police at whim take that matter seriously and do their investigation. And I'm not going to be involved and go interfere with the investigation or say anything here. But the way I see it, I'm going to say it, right? And it is bad. It's bad. Look, you're talking about the roads, right? Fixed 5 times. Every single month in the RDC statutory monthly meeting, I bring it up to Mr. David Armagan. I bring it up to Mr. Zamal Hussein. And I'm calling names here. Zamal Hussein is the vice chairman, and he always come here and say, oh, the roads are fixed, the dams are fixed, the trenches and things like that. You know, look at the condition of the road. That's a tragedy right there again. 59, it was a major problem that 5 people died there. Again, look for the 7 village. Line part, forget it, Mr. Sugrim. I don't know what we are doing with line part there. They are not even patching it. They're just leaving it. The councillors on the PVP side said they're going to want to fix it genuinely, like take everything out. And what about the consumers there? What about the hire car drivers going through all of this expense, right? This is bad. Accidents. You know, look at it. Every single day you can consider an accident in the road. These potholes are causing it. It's no joke, you know. Coming back to Skeldon, in the back by Rampur area there, race course, right? These are all PVP areas. But as they all say, and I said it in other TV programs, the PVP government have this thing in, it's like a chronic sore. You keep some people in low poverty level, uneducated, and come election time, you give them a t-shirt, lorry them around with a couple $1,000s, right? And you got to get their votes. That's people. But Mr. MP and Mr. Sugrim, people are smart out there now. They know about these things. And I'm sure because of the complaint and concern they give to Mr. R.B. Norton, Mr. Kemraj Upnarayan, MP Sarup, there are terrible complaints coming to us. They are not satisfied with this PVP administration. They're suffering under this government. You know, they are bragging and boasting. You know, people from all the Commonwealth countries are coming here. Aren't they ashamed for these people to see what's going on and hearing from the grassroots peoples what's going on? These people are watching. They are claiming second largest.
We just hope that the message will be delivered.
You know, where is it? Where is it? Money? Where is the 2% royalty that our Minister of Natural Resources during our time, Mr. Raphael Trotman, went and resigned and renegotiated for 2%? They had 1%. We are getting 2% now. We are thankful for that. Look at what they are saying now with the insurance. You know, the insurance liability sucks. Most definitely. You have to have a viable, straightforward insurance to protect our money. It is our money. And the money that's coming and recycling back to the various regions is the nations, is the citizen money coming there. They're not begging for a handout, but give the people what they deserve. Right?
Exactly.
The people look in schemes like in Chesney on both sides of the scheme, and I go there often, all over all the regions. Right? You check Port Morant, Anchorville, that Minister Kemraj and MP, and you MP Dinesh Jaiprashad, you was in the area. You saw the conditions that people are living under. We cannot be tolerating these things. We got to come out, like Mr. Anil Sugrim said, come out there and demand what is our what deserve us. We are deserve more than what we are getting. We are not even getting 1% of crumbs out there. Seriously, our people.
Mr. Sugrim, right.
Prior to 2015, you know, people were crying and they were complaining. We would have indicated that we're going to rectify some of these situations. We try with the guy in the police force. It's bare chaos again in the guy in the police force. We were able to stamp out piracy actually 100% in the Quarantine River. We would have done tremendously in a small span of time comparing to the 23 years before 2015. During that period, these same people that are complaining today was some of the people that we would have been able to provide services for. You go down to Morrison Creek, we could have made track for them to walk over 150 people. We were able to take water down to the masjid. And when we come to election, only 2 votes we get in there. And the point that I'm making is these very people that are complaining today, like the people at Ankerville and the people at Port Parent and all of them, yeah, I must check the vote where they put in the votes. And so, although they are complaining bitterly today, when election come, they stop talk to you, they scan you, they behave like they know you, they put you on pass going to the polling place. So the thing is, even though we are here to represent people and we are here to help people, they must show their interest in coming out and support us to represent them. Because they're going to tell you, well, here, I tell you this thing, but not call me name. Me not want to hear people, me not want people hear me say so. Well, if you want to tell me something, I got to call your name. And if you want me to
Exactly.
represent you, you got to stand up side of me, in front of me, behind me, right hand side, left hand side. Because when the time come, although you're putting your neck at black for them, remember when you in this country and the atmosphere of this country, comrades, is that when you say something that which is right and which is true and which is genuine, people vex with you. You become the people's enemy. You become a political enemy in this country. And because of that, we represent people, but they must be able to stand with us so that we can let people know where the complaint is coming from. I took a man went and paid rates and tax, and he complained bitterly about the bushes around his area in the very race course Little Africa area. I asked
Right,
him,
right.
I asked him to make a recorded report. You know what the man tell me at the council? He said, man, he can't do that. He don't want to do that because this is his government. Now, but yet they're complaining to you for you to get something to be done about it, but they're not willing to say that which is affecting them.
Correct.
Another thing that we need to know and take heed of carefully, we got to understand that this government, the PPP, all that they're using the municipalities, the RDCs, and the NDCs, and they're suppressing them when it comes to funds. What they like, and y'all please take note of this. What they like is when the people say, well, here, let the minister come, we want to talk to him. Or let the vice president come, we want him here. And so they take the preeminence, so when them come, they make an announcement. Then people clap, they jump up, they holler, they feel nice. And so with all that they were telling you now, they turn back and attack you, even though you're trying, you are the one that really make the representation. What they need to understand, if you were not there, the minister would have never come there. This
Correct.
is because you were there, is then the minister come. The minister not come with all the letter to the right and all the cry that they make and all the complaints that they make to the NDCs. The minister not come. The minister come when proper representation was made through the opposition member of parliament. And so when
Correct.
those representations were made, the minister run come. He show up because he wants somebody to applaud him and he wants to find somebody to put the blame on. It's everything. Them damn what them broke up now, they blaming the coalition government. GPL give blackout every day, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. And they complaining that is because of the coalition government. When the coalition government take over, they had a run down, broke down, jump down a GPL.
GPL.
The coalition government bring GPL back to par. They make profit. People like the Kaichor and Mr. Glenn could have been speaking about that. And as soon as them take over, what you see, they gotta find ways and means to pass money. Some money gotta go back to people's pocket. That is all that they're caring about, I remember the Bible remind us in the book of Luke chapter 22, when a man want a position of authority, and Jesus was talking about little politics there. When a man want a position of authority, the more he's in position, is a better servant he need to become, rather than to be benefactors. But all that we are seeing is when them buy this strong big buys, all is the benefit they want. They get free car, they get free Jeep, they get free house, they get free security, they get free fuel, and you can't buy firewood for cook a fireside. Because I mean, like, even get firewood or crab creek now that you can buy for cook a fireside. You can't buy cooking gas. With all that we've been saying, and we're talking about one Guyana, and there is a government for all the people and everybody in this country. Why this government do not subsidize the difference in the fuel? Why don't they take the difference in the profit that they're making from fuel? When we left government, fuel was just about 100 and 200 and 200, 175, 180, $165 a liter. Fuel now is about $270 a liter at some places. Why they don't subsidize the difference with the profit that they make and make sure that fuel and cooking gas can be at a good price that people can buy? You know, these are things that got to do. But all we're trying to doing is hosting people from the Caribbean. They are there. We had a big agriculture forum. Big agriculture forum. But let me tell you something. When I was a small boy growing up, and I still try to read some history, that was a brain drain of the late Lyndon Forbes Sampson Burnham. That was his brain drain. That's the man talk about agriculture. That's the man talk about producing. That's the man talk about, we should be able to have that kind of food. That's the man talk about that. And we got to be fair. We got to be fair. I see today an article saying that Trinidad is revisiting their position of accepting the lands that were offered to them by Guyana government in 2013. That was when the PP was in government. And our farmers, our sugar workers, ex-sugar workers, that is dying for a piece of land to cultivate, can't get the land. Our people that is trying to get a little piece of land that they can plant, they can't get. But we know some land was after Barbados, some land was after Trinidad, and all of that. But what happened to the local people? Exactly. Why can't the local farmers get land so they can plant? You talk about flood relief. We have been talking about that, Pandit, over and over and over. There are people that still complaining to me 5 times they take the name. 5 times.
Exactly.
And up to today, they can't get a penny. Up to today, then them get the face to tell people how everybody was able to get some flood relief. Lie. Because there are people up to today don't have, up to now they ain't give people, but there are people that not plant on okra seed or on bygone seed and they get money. And there are people that rent out the land and live in North America, get money for flood relief, and the man who actually planned the thing, not get nothing.
Correct.
We're talking about corruption, buddy. And when corruption lies at the top, it filters down to the bottom. And the top does not take heed to what is happening at the bottom, but they will find a scapegoat in between here and there to put the hammer on, but they are totally a part and parcel of what is happening. That is what is happening in this country. That is what we're experiencing. That is what we are facing every day. And unless people are treated equally, unless people are treated like people, we would not go forward as a nation. Even though they're talking about all the GDP and so on that we're going to rise to, it's only a sect of the people are benefiting. Like Derek pointed out clearly, the private sector, the chambers, they used to shout out and talk when they were dissatisfied with everything under the coalition government. But today they ain't talking nothing. They gone to sleep because they gone in bed. They gone in bed with the government, which they're always in bed with them. And so today they don't speak for the people, but they must speak for themselves. They speak for themselves. You could hear they come
Correct.
out there and say they were dissatisfied with some, memorandum of understanding that were signed with Trinidad because they feel good about that, unless they are not a part of it. Anyhow, at the end of the day, they were a part of it and they turned them out from saying one thing and they said something else. You know, that's the kind of people that we're dealing with. How can our country, how can our people benefit? You generalize this what we're doing here tonight. You go to the hospital. We're talking about the health system run down in this region. You go to the hospital, you gotta go privately and pay for stuff. Why don't the hospital today have a 24-hour pharmacy operating? We're talking about a developing country. We're talking about a country where we produce oil. We're talking about a country that we can boast about in the Caribbean about. We can go to Saudi Arabia and we can boast about and Dubai and Dubai we can boast about Guyana and we health system broken down. We should be able to operate pharmacy today that is 24/7. People go and see a doctor at the hospital. They ain't get drugs. You gotta go and buy it privately. When you go
Exactly.
to the hospital, the pharmacy closed down. You gotta come back the next day. The next day, when you come the next day, the pharmacist is not in place yet, so you can't get the drugs. Come back next half day. That's the system that we are encountering. You go to Skeleton, you gotta buy. They get a man that come out from the hospital and they're by the waiting area outside of the security gate. He there for months. The man in Pampers, he had defecate there, he had urine there. He has spent time there. People cannot utilize the place. Dr. Sharma pass him there. The doctor in charge pass him there. The minister pass him there. The police pass him there. The mayor pass him there. Everybody passing him right there. And nobody can rectify what is happening there. Nobody. So what system are we having in this country, buddy? What system are we having? Us people at Skelling Hospital, us patients that go there in the waiting area outside of the main security entrance. You get a man or something in their naked skin in there. Sometimes you have kind of foolishness you're doing there, and there is nothing that this government is doing about it. So you're talking about all these people that pass them. They can't do nothing about that. They can't do anything. They can't address that. The security complains numerous times. Patient go out there, rain or fall, they gotta stand up in the rain because they can't go under there. Because the man uses it as a bathroom, as a toilet, and as a urinal, and there is nothing anybody is doing about it. What are we having, man? What are we having in place? This is the kind of system we can live under. How
Exactly.
long would we be able to live under this kind of system?
True. True.
And then we can be government can be boasting about the development and boasting about the projects that they're doing, but they're doing it for who they want and where they want and when they want. But they're not
True.
generalizing what they're doing so all the people across this country can benefit. And if we talk
Benefit.
about Region 6, we can talk about Region 6 that there are people, there are so many places. And I have said it before. You go to a street just at Springlands, they build a road in front of East Indian man because an African man lives side E, they stop the road, the whole piece left. You go through Hazel Street and go around for go to Race Course, they build the road and turn it there. When you turn into the corner,
True.
you had a couple of African people living there. They stop the road there, they ain't carry
True.
through to the other part because you got some, and then you're telling me about Wangayana. Then you're telling me that, the allegate people, the opposition is making an allegation and it's false. Those are the evidence that is there for people
That
to
is
come and
happening.
see.
That is happening all over the country. We see too much of discrimination, too much of racial discrimination happening in Guyana. And you know, comrades, gentlemen, in 2 days' time we will be having independence. I see program time approaching there. 1 minute. Are you happy that we have reached this far, or you think that we are still in bondage based on what we have said tonight? What do you think? 1 minute each.
Man, independence is here. We got it like, what was it? This is the 54th independence,
56, I
right?
think.
56. Okay. All right. We are an independent nation and we still going through this for over 50 years. You know, I am 66 now. I'm proud of my age. All right. I've been overseas for quite a while. come back to Guyana. I love Guyana. It's like saying, you could take Derek Basley out of Guyana, but you can't take Guyana out of him. All right. With what I'm seeing on this independence whole story, I want to touch a little bit on Mr. Sugrim's point with that um, man in that hospital area there. What about the guy who is sleeping with a netting almost half naked every day opposite Tagore School in the bus
Yeah,
shed,
that's
Yeah,
another
they,
situation.
and this
Yeah,
is
that's another.
happening. One resident right there in 63, he got a rum shop. He tell me exactly, Mr. Bazio, this is 14 months now that this man is there. And you calculate 14 months, this man is there within the PUP administration time. The police, there's something wrong. Something is wrong somewhere. Look, talking about police station, right? 3 police station was opened yesterday in Region 6 here. New Amsterdam, Alben police station opposite my house, and Wim police station. The police, they're doing a good job, but they need vehicles. They need means of communication. It's poor communication all over the place. But to
I
say
know.
something here is the truth. Mr. Anil Sugam knows, Mr. MP Dineshwar, you know about this. That project with the police stations was starting during our time. Mr. Kemraj
Oh,
Ramjatan started that project, right? And then when the PPP government came in, is the natural truth. It was a stall and it was halted. Progress was stopped on them. And recently it was completed and we get a grand opening eventually.
But
Look at all of
Mr.
these.
Mr.
Yeah.
Basdale, you know, the police just get vehicles, and I would differ with you on that. Is
All right.
because the police is doing a clumsy job. They're doing a very clumsy job. They give back people information and reports. We got nice
Right.
nuisance that they are a part of and a parcel of and participating. The police vehicles, I believe, should be driven by civilians and not police. They're wrecking up all the vehicles, damaging up,
Mhm.
destroying all the brand new vehicle. The police saying that they're on patrol and black vehicle, glass well locked tight to the top, loud music in the vehicles. And so if you want to hail at them, the police don't have a clue that they're residents that need assistance because they carry on with their own business in the vehicle. Well, I'm telling you, man. I am telling you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is how the other day they run by through me street, put the by and beat up the man with me boss, knock up the man. I went to the Springers police station and make a report on the matter. But the man, they're gonna break up me boss, catch the man and beat the man. That's the
Mhm.
quality of policeman they get demonstrating themselves. So
all
I
right,
Yeah.
I I
gentlemen.
I I don't have I don't have no confidence in them whatsoever. When you come to independence, I spoke to several people, old people, and people said that they would have been better off living before independence because all the time through independence they're encountering more suffering and they have been struggling more than when they live under the British rule. And that is what I did not live under the British rule. I don't have an idea of what they're saying. But what I am saying is that that is what the older people are saying. Because 56 years and we don't know it. 56
Good.
years, we can't get freedom. If a man can't get freedom of speech, 56 years,
Independence.
you get the right to make an opinion, they vex with you. You
All
go to
right.
a
So,
meeting and you
gentlemen,
talk, them will tell
yeah,
you, well, you can't speak at the meeting.
um, we are approaching program time. So, thank you very much for your contribution tonight. I know that it has been a very fruitful discussion, and we hope to continue this next Tuesday. So, put it on your calendar. Next Tuesday, the three of us will be back because so much to talk about and so little time. So, gentlemen, good night. Thank you very much.
Good night. Good night.
Okay,
Good
good
night.
night.
All the
All
best.
right.
Good.
Great program.
Good, sir.
All right.